Okay. All right. So Whitney. So
Yeah.
Whitney has ME. I mean, it sounds weird saying that 'cause it's like, hey, you have that. But so anyways, She wanted to kind of show me. How'd you say what you said? You're gonna show me who you were or something, but you are.
To show you the person I used to be before I got sick. So you'll have
Okay.
to guess who I was.
And yeah.
I traveled a lot. I worked a lot and I traveled a lot and I collected Asian art for 30 years probably. So one of my favorite things to do was go to Japan. And in fact, what started my ME was a trip to Japan 5 years ago. I got a virus there, a pretty bad one, and never got better. So that being said, I do miss Japan, and I don't blame Japan. I actually think I got the virus on the airplane on the way to Japan. But this is my sunroom where I've spent the majority of my life in the last 2.5 years. This is my the bed that I lie on during the day, and I stay in this room because it has very beautiful light. So, before I got sick, obviously I decorated it with fountains, and this was, believe it or not, my yoga room because I was an active person even while sick. I did a lot of yoga and a good bit of exercise. Then I got really sick and went to bed and stayed in bed for a couple years, and now I'm out of bed, but still have no aerobic capacity.
Well, you said you take your dog for a walk, like a block or something.
A block, yeah. I can walk a block, and that's about it. So better, so much better than
better.
anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to bed, it's heaven for sure. So I'm not complaining. But this is our guest room, but I'm trying to learn Japanese tea ceremony, but it's very uncomfortable to sit in seiza, so I have to just kind of sit cross-legged. But this was a guest bedroom, and it was my meditation room before I got sick. And now I meditate lying down. Yeah, we bought this 1906 house 3 years ago. My partner and I moved into it. Oh, here's my little dog. She is very cute. She's an old girl. Sorry, there's a lot of laundry and stuff around right now, but we just decorated for Christmas, so that has really lifted my spirits. It's probably a little dim down here, but you can see it's, this house is a four-square craftsman style house, very California, very old growth redwood, everything. And this is our tree, and you can see I collected photos, and I lived in San Francisco for a long time, so one of my favorite things was to shop at the estate auctions at Bonham's a long time ago when they had summer auctions. You could pick up, especially Asian art for nothing. Nobody wanted it. People were collecting mid-modern. So I was in the right place at the right time, and Mark and I bought this house and put a huge amount of energy into, getting it decorated and stuff, and then I collapsed shortly thereafter. And, that's where I am today. But you can see, I used to be a very active person out in the world doing this and that.
So when you say you used to be, which is true, you were active, but how has this changed your perspective in life? I mean, I know both you and Lucas came from prior to a spiritual background, and so has that carried you through? How has things affected you, and how are you changing things in your life, adapting?
Yeah. So before, I always was interested in working for the greater good, and right livelihood was super important to me. So I worked for the California EPA, and I worked on our climate change program in California. It's called AB 32, and I was heavily involved in that climate change research and policy. But when you think about it, I mean, it was a global problem, and my thinking was usually that humans, the majority of them, are just trapped in this egocentric and ethnocentric sort of line of development, and so they're very self-centered and sort of a problem, really. I thought of human beings as, of course, I've always, loved human beings, and that's not to say that I didn't like them or have friends and people very close to me. Always, I have. I just meant, as a species, I had some very bad ideas about human beings, and lot of that really went away. I still want to work for the greater good. I just constantly think of that. It's very important to me to constantly be trying to work for the greater good of all beings, all living beings, non-human, human, everyone. And getting sick has helped that. It's really put me in touch with my humanity, really. And that has come from meeting other sick people, quite honestly, people like Lisa particularly, and a lot of my other friends I've met. They're amazing. When I first got really sick, I thought, there's no way I can do this. I've got to get out of this body. I mean, really, I thought about killing myself very seriously, and yeah, it was rough. I fought it. It was hard for me not to kill myself. I was so sick, and it went on for so long. The first time I relapsed, it was 8 months in bed, and I felt every day I just prayed for death. I was just so sick. I just couldn't be in my body. And meeting Lisa and Cara and some other people I know, it really changed me because they've been doing it for 10 to 15 years